You're not being tested by life, you're being exposed by it. Every crisis, every financial collapse, every betrayal, every moment when the ground falls out from under you isn't creating something new in you, it's revealing what was always there. And that changes everything about how you should view hardship. We've been taught to think of difficult times as tests sent from above or obstacles designed to measure our worthiness. But what if that entire framework is wrong? What if adversity doesn't examine you at all, but instead strips away the carefully constructed image you've built and forces the real you into the light? Because when pressure arrives, when resources vanish, when time compresses and comfort disappears, you don't become someone different. You default to who you've always been underneath the performance. Think about the last time something genuinely difficult happened in your life. A relationship ended, money got tight, someone you trusted disappointed you. How did you respond? Did you panic or stay calm? Did you blame others or look inward? Did you isolate yourself or reach out? Whatever you did in that moment wasn't a new behavior created by the crisis. It was your true character surfacing when you no longer had the luxury of pretending. Personality versus character. Most people don't understand the distinction, and it costs them dearly. Your personality is the front-facing version of yourself, the one that shows up to job interviews and family dinners. It's your charm, your wit, your ability to make people comfortable. Character runs deeper. It's your integrity when no one's watching, your resilience when everything's falling apart, your compassion when helping someone costs you something real. Society rewards personality during easy times. The charismatic person climbs the corporate ladder. The charming individual builds an impressive network. But when the economy crashes or tragedy strikes, charm means nothing. You can't charisma your way through genuine suffering. In those moments, only character provides the foundation to stand on. And here's what most people discover too late. They spent years building an impressive personality while completely neglecting the character underneath. Pixar Animation Studios has a character development tool they call the elevator test. When creating a character for a film, writers imagine that character stuck in an elevator. How do they respond? Do they panic immediately? Do they try to fix it themselves? Do they comfort others who are scared? That single scenario reveals whether someone is fundamentally selfish, anxious, resourceful, or compassionate. It's brilliant because it strips away all context and comfort, leaving only the core of who that person truly is. Your life operates on the same principle. Crisis is the stuck elevator, and you've been showing yourself and everyone around you exactly who you are this entire time. But why does exposure happen at all? Why can't we maintain our carefully crafted image even under pressure? Because adversity creates scarcity, and scarcity forces brutal prioritization. When you have limited time, money, energy, or emotional bandwidth, you can't afford to maintain the performance anymore. You have to choose what actually matters to you, and those choices tell the truth about your values. Someone who claims family is their top priority, but abandons them the moment finances get tight, has just exposed their real hierarchy. The person who preaches loyalty but disappears when you actually need them has revealed that their words were performance, not conviction. You can say anything when life is comfortable. Your actions under pressure are the only honest testimony. There's another mechanism at work too. High stress overwhelms your brain's regulatory systems. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for deliberate decision making and self-control, gets flooded. When that happens, you fall back on deeply ingrained patterns and automatic responses. These aren't new behaviors. They're your default programming, the patterns you've been reinforcing for years through small daily choices that seemed insignificant at the time. Every time you chose the easy path over the right one, you were programming your crisis response. Every time you avoided a difficult conversation, every time you prioritized comfort over growth, every time you let fear make your decisions, you were building the character that would be exposed when real pressure arrived, and now here you are, discovering that the person you become under stress isn't who you thought you were at all. The exposure extends beyond just you. Adversity reveals relationship dynamics with surgical precision. Fair weather friends who seem so supportive during good times vanish the moment you actually need something. Meanwhile, people you barely knew show up in ways that surprise you completely. Hard times don't change people. They just remove the social lubricant that allowed everyone to maintain pleasant pretenses. You want to know who actually cares about you? Stop being useful to them and see who stays. Lose your status and watch how the invitations dry up. Face genuine hardship and count how many people offer tangible help versus empty platitudes. It's painful information to gather, but it's also invaluable because now you know the truth about your relationships instead of living in comfortable delusion. But here's where this gets uncomfortable. If adversity exposes everyone else's true character, what's it revealing about yours? That question should terrify you more than any external circumstance ever could. Because while you've been busy judging everyone else's reactions, cataloging who disappointed you and who surprised you, you've been writing your own report card. Every choice you made when things got difficult, every priority you revealed under scarcity, every automatic response that came out when your regulatory systems got overwhelmed, that's your character being documented in real time. And you don't get to be the exception to this rule. You're not just the observer evaluating everyone else, you're also being exposed. What did you prioritize when resources got tight? Did you protect your integrity or compromise it for convenience? When someone needed you and helping them would cost you something real, did you show up or create distance? When fear flooded your system, did you become cruel, withdrawn, or manipulative? These aren't theoretical questions. You already answered them through your actions. The transcript exists. You wrote it with your choices. Here's what makes this brutally difficult to accept. You probably discovered that you're not who you thought you were. The identity you built during comfortable times, the story you told yourself about your values and character, it doesn't match the person who showed up under pressure. That gap between your self-concept and your revealed character creates profound psychological discomfort. It's easier to blame circumstances than accept the truth. Easier to say the situation was uniquely unfair than admit your response came from within you. But that discomfort is actually the most valuable thing you could experience right now, because what you're aware of, you can change. What you're not aware of controls you. This exposure, as painful as it is, gives you information you desperately needed. You now know which parts of your character require intentional work. You know which automatic responses need to be reprogrammed. You know which values you claim to hold but don't actually prioritize when they conflict with comfort or safety. The people who grow from adversity aren't the ones who experienced less pain. They're the ones who accepted what the pain revealed about them. They stood in front of the mirror and said, yes, that's actually me, and I don't like what I see, and I'm going to do something about it. They chose awareness over denial. That choice is what separates those who repeat the same patterns forever from those who actually evolve. Character can be built, but it requires intentionality. You can't passively hope you'll become better. You have to practice in advance. Every small decision during calm periods is programming that will run automatically when crisis returns. And crisis will return. The question is whether you'll be exposed, revealing the same weaknesses again, or whether you'll have done the work to build something different. Think about resilience. When the next wave of adversity hits, some people will demonstrate remarkable strength, while others will collapse. That difference doesn't happen in the moment. It reflects character built beforehand through deliberate practice, through choosing the harder right over the easier wrong, through developing psychological resources during times when developing them felt unnecessary. Resilience isn't given to you by hardship. It's exposed by hardship after you built it during easier times. This reframing changes everything about how you should be living right now. If you know exposure is coming, if you know circumstances will eventually strip away your comfortable facade and reveal what's underneath, then the most important work you can do is building character worth exposing. Not for performance, not to impress others, but because when you're tested by fire, you want to discover gold instead of discovering straw. What does that work look like practically? It means aligning your daily actions with your stated values even when no one's watching. It means practicing integrity in small moments so it's automatic in large ones. It means developing emotional regulation during minor frustrations so you have access to it during major crises. It means choosing uncomfortable growth over comfortable stagnation. It means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to become better rather than people who enable you to stay the same. The exposure is inevitable. You can't avoid being revealed, but you absolutely can influence what gets revealed. That's the opportunity hidden inside this uncomfortable truth. You're not a finished product being graded. You're a work in progress with agency over what you become. The next crisis will expose you, yes, but you get to decide right now what it's going to find when it digs beneath the surface. Build something worth discovering, because the person you're becoming in private during easy times is the person who will be exposed publicly during hard ones. You've been exposed, not by your circumstances, but by your response to them. And now you have a choice that will define everything that comes next. You can deny what you've learned about yourself, blame the situation, and repeat these patterns until they destroy you. Or you can accept the revelation, do the uncomfortable work of building real character, and ensure that the next exposure reveals someone entirely different. The crisis didn't create who you are, it just showed you. What you do with that information determines who you become.